Welcome back, friends. It's the Mountain Morning Show here on Park City Television. Next up, this segment is going to be so many things to those of us here in the studio this morning. We missed out on a little mac and cheese on our Friday morning show, and this morning we're getting the payoff with the added layer of satisfaction, pun intended, that it is National Cheese Day, and we are pleased to have Chef Wil Greer with us.
Hi, thanks, Terry.
Good to see you.
Hey, thanks
Good morning.
for having me. Yeah,
thanks for coming.
you.
And I'm stopping talking. You have the goods.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm Wil Greer. I'm a personal chef. I'm here today to, talk about National Cheese Day and how to celebrate it with, Cucina Antica. I found the sauce recently, and man, it's, really, really amazing. Straight out of Italy. No, weird preservatives. All, the best tomatoes out there, all handmade, of course, gluten-free. Absolutely amazing. So I wanted to, display a recipe that kind of showcased this and do the National Cheese Day. So we're going to do a baked mac and cheese today with Cucina Antica. So,
so good.
Today we're going to start with a little bit of a roux.
And for folks who don't know what a roux is.
And a roux is pretty much just fat and flour cooked together in a pot. To make a bit of a base for pretty much any sauce out there. Cheese sauce especially is what we're going to do today. So today our fat of choice is going to be butter, and if you can pick any other kind of fat here: olive oil, canola oil, anything that suits your family's dietary preferences.
Yes, absolutely. And looks like you got about 2 tablespoons. Is it that much?
Yeah, about 2 tablespoons. We're going to half the recipe today, so
I see. Sure.
Just doing a little bit more butter to cook the flour in here. So we're going to let this cook down. Yeah, I already have, we have the noodles pre-cooked. You can always do that the day before, save a little bit of time. As well as while we're going to let that cook down, we're going to prepare our garlic. There's a couple of ways I like to do that. Either twist it back and forth, break that paper open. If you got strong hands, you can do it that way.
Right, right.
The other way, of course, is to just hit it with a knife or any other blunt object in the kitchen if you don't trust yourself. But today, we're just going to give it a little bit of a tap with the non-dangerous end, and I'm just keeping my eye on the butter, making sure that doesn't boil over.
And so you want to get the butter not just melted, but to kind of a certain
little foaminess
property. Okay, very good. Well
that way,
said.
you know that the moisture's all gone, all the water's gone, so then it doesn't bind to the flour early. So there we have it, a little bit of a foam there. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll add our flour now.
And how much flour you got there?
Got another couple tablespoons. Just you want to go pretty similar to the butter ratio, just a little bit less.
Gotcha.
Today we're going to be making a blonde roux for our cheese sauce because we don't want to add a lot of flavor from the flour. We want to let the cheese speak for itself.
Gotcha.
So we let that just cook a little bit so you don't get that raw, floury flavor.
Right, right, yeah, because that is kind of off-putting because it's all the way through the dish.
Right. So let that simmer down just a little bit. Ooh.
So kind of the very lightest definition of cooked flour.
Yeah, blonde is what usually they call it. Yeah, as soon as it starts getting a little colorful, here we are, a little bit of yellow to it. That's beautiful. So we give this garlic a quick smash, quick chop, just so it's nice and rough. I like big pieces of garlic in my food. You can go find
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and we're putting it into the butter, so it'll get a little cook on it and mellow out that sharpness of the garlic.
Correct.
Will, tell us about your background. How did you go from? I'm sure you just loved to cook at one point, but you've made it your thing.
Gosh, when I was a little kid, I thought, maybe astronaut, maybe something bigger. But then one day I decided to. I was 10. I made a box of brownies for the family, but I added some chocolate chips to it. Everybody really liked that.
That was the thing.
Really good,
I love it.
And ever since then, the smiles on their faces, man, I just got hooked. So now, this is what we do.
That's fantastic.
Oh, man.
And how long have you been a personal chef and kind of in the professional cooking business?
Oh, close to 10 years now. Started when I was 20. Now we're 30. So yeah, 10 years. So now we got lots of fragrance off this garlic. I can start to see that it's going a little translucent. So we'll go ahead and add our milk. We're maintaining about a medium, just under a medium on the fire.
Yes.
Get this out of the way here. Cool.
And I think it bears mentioning that on one hand, of course, we know mac and cheese as one of the simplest things that you could possibly make.
Right.
In a box, dump in some weird orange powdery sauce.
The blue box.
Bringing back a little bit of the gourmetness of macaroni and cheese with all fresh ingredients certainly is a nice thing.
Speaking of a little fresh, brought some basil with me. We're going to grab
Awesome.
a couple of these little leaves off here and chiffonade these in later. But you do these little steps while, you know, the ingredients are cooking, right? You got to busy yourself while it's getting hot, right? So we'll grab a little stack of these guys.
And you used the term chiffonade with
Yes.
respect to cutting
Right. You make a
the
little
basil.
stack of leaves there. Roll it up as tight as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. But then you give it a little run with the knife. And of course, it doesn't matter how fast you go, just maintain one size, right? You get faster as you practice. So there you are. And then when you kind of fluff it up a little bit, you get a nice little portion of basil, right? We're going to keep that right there for later purposes. You don't want to add it too early, because then it cooks down and gets a little bitter. So you add it just towards the end.
And you've got that really fresh aromatic because of the just chopping, and it's an herb. You don't really need to cook it, huh?
Right, of course. Yeah, if it's dry, then it adds much more flavor. But then you add it kind of early. But if it's fresh, like you say, then yeah, you want to add it towards the end.
Very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I see that this is warming up as well as thickening up because of our roux in the milk. So
Fantastic.
Now we're going to start to add our cheese.
The cheese is going in, you guys. Excuse me, Will. I'm just going to give our advertisers a quick opportunity to chat with you guys. We're going to continue with gourmet mac and cheese, tomato, fresh basil. I'm hungry. We'll be right back to eat after this. Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show here on Park City Television. It's your pal, guest host, Terry Burden. And our man, Diego Romo, is back.
Thank you so much.
And he made his way in for a little sampling.
I got to get back on the cheese.
You got to get back on the
game.
cheese, man. I mean, you've been in the U.S. of A. for like 54 hours. You gotta
Well,
get
yeah, what
back
are you
on
doing
it.
if you haven't had so much cheese already, right? If
Absolutely.
If
We're
National
here
Cheese Day?
with our man, Wil Greer, personal chef.
on National Cheese Day here,
National
making a
Cheese
gourmet
Day.
mac and cheese. The cheese has melted through the break. We just added a little bit of fresh Parmesan,
That's
correct,
right.
Will?
Yep, we got the Parmesan going now. We got all the cheddar, but feel free, right? National Cheese Day. Diversify your cheese, right? You were
Nicely
just talking
planned.
about
I love it.
manchego. You can put cream cheese in here. You can go, crazy.
That's the best thing about it. And
Right.
I think I love you guys were talking about mac and cheese, how simple it was earlier, but I love that you can change a simple dish into something that's so gourmet, so delicious.
Absolutely.
You have your fantastic sauce here that you brought with you that you were speaking of earlier.
Yeah, speaking of making it gourmet, here comes making it gourmet, right? So we have all of our cheese that we'd like melted. We're keeping some on the side to put on the top of our baked mac and cheese later,
Okay.
right? So we don't want to add it all quite yet. You like to go in little stages. So here we're going to add half the jar today. The recipe online calls for the whole jar.
And we're doing halves, so
doing
definitely
half.
something to remember as you watch us cook here today.
Yeah,
and
this
where
way-
can people get their hands on this marinara?
Gosh, you can go to almost anywhere. You can go to Whole Foods. I found it at Harmon's. They have it at Target. It's really phenomenal sauce. And yeah, I'd keep your eye out for it. It's usually towards the top shelf. So now you can watch this
Wow.
as it just changes a whole different color.
The color
turns
on
into
that
something
looks
else.
amazing.
Yeah. So now we have that almost all the way stirred in. Of course, we can keep going, but we're going to keep stirring after we add our pre-cooked noodles.
I was going to say more cheese, but no, noodles. I just want more cheese.
You're getting ahead. You're trying to catch up, D.
Yeah, I am catching up, definitely.
Okay, we're going to change tools here quickly.
Nicely done.
Yes. Always
No
have the
more
correct
whisk.
tool on hand. And don't worry about burning your hands. We
Okay.
have hands made of steel.
Always a good thing. So, Will, where can folks find you online, whether it's to hire you to get this recipe or lots of other recipes?
Well, I had a website. It's currently under construction, so please mind our dust. But it was chefgreer.com. You can find me at wilgreer@gmail.com as well. But I'll let you know next time I come and visit you, I guess,
Fantastic.
what's going on.
What's going on there? But the email is always a great way to get a hold of you if they
Yes.
have any questions or wanted to maybe have this mac and cheese for themselves.
Sure.
It looks phenomenal, that's for sure.
So now that everything's incorporated, we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings, which is going to
Fresh
include
basil.
our fresh basil,
A little bit of fresh cracked pepper.
And I gotta say, there's nothing like pulling fresh basil leaves off of a basil
Oh
plant.
my gosh.
There's just something so
good.
amazing
Just
about
the fragrance of that.
the
is just
fragrance,
amazing.
absolutely.
We're gonna add a little bit of something different. I don't know if you've seen nutritional yeast before, but it's.
I have not.
You can try a little bit of that, little pinch of it.
I'm familiar with it,
Yeah.
and I know that some people
Yeah.
kind of swear by it.
It's very savory, pretty salty.
yeah.
And it just really, really enhances that cheese flavor. So
Wow,
you just add a
that's-
little bit of that.
That's umami right there.
Yeah, exactly. Umami. So we're gonna
yeah.
fold all that in there. And then as soon as we got all that mixed in there, we'll just add it to our.
And again, this yeast was to help bring out some of the cheese flavors.
Yeah, cheese has one of those the umami flavor we were
Okay.
talking about, that savoriness, that really yumminess.
Okay.
And so yeah, this nutritional yeast really I find brings that out.
Helps
so,
accent all of that.
Gonna get this out. Well, no, we're gonna use our little bowl here. Fill this guy up. And then when you put this, we'll cover this with some breadcrumbs and then some Parmesan cheese and pop it in the 375 degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Depending on, what looks good to you. But
Some people do like the crust very crusty and
Yes.
very, which is kind of my favorite thing, but I know a lot of people as well that kind of take it out a little bit early because they like it to just be a little bit softer. So it's kind of up to you in regards to that.
And of course, it's delicious just as it is. So if you don't have
Agreed.
any time, then go ahead. But thanks to the magic of time and space and TV, we've got some to try here.
Two ready to go.
Yes. And the oven is going crazy on me. So,
All right.
you can try some of these
So
guys
the
out.
finished product before it goes into the oven and then after here looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And it smells really good. Getting hints of that marinara
nice
right away.
crust on there, right after the 30 or 40 minutes, uncovered in the oven.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys want to dig in there?
Absolutely.
please,
Would
after
love
you.
to.
Sure.
Whoa, and that is hot.
Oh,
so
yeah,
be
it's gonna
careful for
definitely be
that.
hot.
I'm gonna use this actually.
Yeah.
Be smart.
If you want a cold dinner, we can make you one of those too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part about it. Having a
Thanks,
personal
Dee.
chef there for you.
Yeah.
Let's dig right in. Gosh, man, I've missed this.
Right?
I've missed this.
Welcome
truly.
back, buddy.
Welcome back.
From
Yeah.
Food of USA.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Really. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Really good. That marinara is so quality. You can tell.
Yeah, it's really the difference. Really brings it to the whole, level above. Got to try it out for yourself. And you can find this Cucina Antica. If you can't find it in a grocery store, you can find it cucina-antica.com.
Antica.com. Perfect. I want to keep talking, but at the same time, I kind of just want to stuff my face.
I was
right
just thinking to myself that when you do television, there's a polite amount of eating to do while on camera, and then you usually become more of your authentic self after we go to commercial break. I'm dangerously close to
I agree.
becoming the real me.
And just eating
And
the whole
putting
bowl
the
of food.
hurt on this mac and cheese.
Well, again, where can people, your email one more time so people can get a hold of you if
Okay.
they're interested in your personal chef services?
Wil Greer, WILGREER @gmail.com. 1 L 2 E's @gmail.com. And
Fantastic.
yeah,
We'll be
find
sharing
that.
this recipe on our social media, if I'm not mistaken, so you can definitely cook this up for yourself at home this week. I know I just want to talk so much so I can get to break and eat the rest of this
That's
right
right.
now
We can
while it's still
finish
hot.
up.
Because it is
Indeed.
fantastic. But we've had such a great day today on the Mountain Morning Show. Well, thank you so much
Thanks
for
again for
joining
having
us
me.
and
Chef,
cooking
thanks,
this
buddy. That was
fantastic food.
excellent, delicious.
Much appreciated. Let's take a look right now at the Mountain Views promo. See what's happening later on this Saturday. Terry, do you know what's going on?
Actually, I haven't looked at the schedule yet, so I'm woefully unprepared to promote the show that I host.
As Terry would say, hashtag Mondays.
Yes.
Hashtag
yes.
Mondays. We're back. We're
Yes.
back.
We've got a ton of fantastic music. Hotel Le Motel, my pal Jason Roy Sawyer from up in Ogden. Good old-fashioned rock and roll. They're lovely. They're going to be on Wednesday. I'm super excited about that.
Awesome. Again, get a hold of Wil Greer if you are interested in any of his personal chef services. But thank you so much for joining us here on the Mountain Morning Show on this Monday, June the 4th. It's been a great day to get back to the swing of things here. I'm
Welcome
so
back, my
happy to be
friend.
back. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you.
Thanks for
as
having me
always.
again, yeah.
Catch the repeat at noon if you guys missed anything. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.